Am I the asshole for not defending my boyfriend after my parents got upset at him? My boyfriend and I went to my parents for Passover, along with my sister and nieces. My boyfriend isn't Jewish and didn't know anything about Passover but said he was interested in learning. Part of the tradition is leaving a glass of wine out for Elijah, a legendary prophet who is supposed to return to earth someday to announce the arrival of the Messiah. You leave the glass of wine out so you have something to give him in case he comes by. We went over the story of Elijah during the Seder. The morning after the Seder, my boyfriend noticed that the wine was still there, and asked if someone was going to drink it so the kids would think Elijah came. My mom said no, this isn't like the Easter Bunny or Santa. If Elijah doesn't come then nothing happens and we'll have to wait until next year. We don't pretend that he came. However, when the kids came downstairs they saw that the wine glass was empty, and that there was some candy there. My boyfriend told the kids that Elijah had come by at night, drank the wine, and left some candy for them. The kids were confused, but fortunately my mom was on it and said my boyfriend was just kidding, and that the candy was from him. After the kids left, my parents told my boyfriend that he was wrong for doing that and found what he did disrespectful by acting like this was just another Santa-type thing to give gifts to kids, even after my mom explained that this was totally different. I didn't do anything to defend him because I felt that my parents were right to be upset. He apologized to them, but is upset at me for not defending him. I explained that I did not stand up for him because I agreed with my parents that he had been disrespectful and should have known not to do this. He said that I should have stood up for him because he was just trying to do something fun for the kids, and that he had never been to a Seder before and hadn't really understood why it was inappropriate to pretend that Elijah had come. Not the asshole. As your parents explained, this is not like leaving out cookies and milk for Santa. He disrespected your beliefs and religion by doing so. Also, I am curious as what happens to the wine if it isn't drank. Not the asshole. He was told the right thing to do, not drink the wine, not pretend like Saint Elijah Claus came, and he intentionally ignored those instructions. It doesn't matter that he wanted to do something fun for kids. It doesn't matter that he doesn't understand why it was inappropriate. What matters is that he was told specifically what to do, and he did the opposite. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend did something he was specifically told not to do, and then is confused as to why people are upset. If he admittedly knows nothing about Passover, was already told not to drink the wine and lie to the kids, who the hell does he think he is to go ahead and do it anyway? Not the asshole. As the non-Jewish partner myself, I cannot believe his audacity. Also, it's Passover. Given how clueless he is, he may well have given them something in the candy that is not allowed during that time. He needs to stay in his lane, and apologize for overstepping and disrespecting. Not the asshole. He was wrong, and if he truly realized he was wrong he wouldn't be asking you why you didn't defend him. Not the asshole. The morning after Seder he asked about why the wine was still there and will someone drink it and then say that Elijah came by. He was told, "No, we don't do that. This is not like the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus." Then he does drink the wine and leaves candy, making it a bunny Santa thing, and is surprised that your parents aren't going along with it. If he wanted to give the kids candy he should have asked your parents what an appropriate way to give it would be. Not the asshole. Oh my gosh, that's so completely disrespectful of him to have done that. You're right to have not defended him, he's gotta learn to take criticism. He had never been to a Seder before and hadn't really understood why it was inappropriate to pretend that Elijah had come. Your mom made it very clear what the spirit of this is all about, but he chose to ignore her. This shows a massive lack of respect for your family's religious beliefs, and the fact he's angry at you right now is totally unacceptable. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. He doesn't have to follow your traditions to know that he should respect them. His reasoning that he didn't know it was inappropriate is baloney. Your mother clearly explained that this is not like Santa or the Easter Bunny. He decided to empty the wine glass anyway and leave candy for the kids. He knew it was inappropriate and decided his way was still better. He's an asshole and he's trying to gaslight you by saying he didn't understand even after it was explained to him why he shouldn't do it before he did it. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend crossed the line by deliberately going against your mom in her house, with her young nieces, and regarding her religion. Kinda lacking common sense and manners. Not the asshole. Basically, he refused to believe his host could have a different religious practice from what he was used to, even when he was directly told. So he went behind your entire family's back and did the Christian-type tradition he was comfortable with as though to educate your family. It's really insulting, and why on earth would you defend him? My question is, why are you still with him? It's one thing to not know much about a culture or religion, that's fine. It's another thing to try to fix that religion in the person's own home when directly told not to. Info. What was he expecting you to say in his defense? Sorry, my boyfriend is an idiot. Not the asshole, he was told not to do it. It doesn't matter if he doesn't really understand. He was told clearly not to do it. He was a guest in the home, a guest to the whole thing. It wasn't on him to make something fun for the kids. Not the asshole, but I might also be biased. I'm Jewish and find what he did was very uncalled for. If my husband did this while we were dating, I would not stand up for him either. Your mom respectfully explained to him what happens if Elijah doesn't drink the wine. He should have left it at that and not make up rules that fit his needs. Not the asshole. The whole thing was explained to him, and he thought he knew better. I'd go further and say this is a bit of a red flag. He doesn't take an answer for an answer. He thinks he knows better than anyone else and has to do things his way. It's particularly troubling that he did this regarding a tradition in a religion that he admits he knows nothing about. This is extremely arrogant behavior on his behavior, going way past an accidental faux pas. Not the asshole. He was told the specifics but still decided to be a dick. Parents called him out on it. And I like the way your parents told the kids the truth, no sugarcoating. Not the asshole. He can't pretend he didn't know better. He was told he wasn't supposed to do it, and he did it anyway. And you don't have to stand up for him if you don't agree with what he did. Boyfriend. Are you going to pretend Elijah came? Parents. Nobody does that. It would be disrespectful. Boyfriend. Pretends Elijah came. Parents. You did wrong. Boyfriend. Surprised Pikachu face. Why won't my girlfriend defend me? Not the asshole. Just like Hanukkah isn't Jewish Christmas, Pesach isn't Jewish Easter. It would have been one thing if your boyfriend had suggested leaving candy out and your parents had agreed, but what he did was disrespectful. He could have also just directly given the kids candy as a treat from him, rather than trying to utilize a Jewish cultural and religious practice he had no willingness to understand. He should apologize and make amends by actually doing what he initially said he was going to do. Respect and learn about your culture. Note. I'm Jewish. Not the asshole. It was already explained to him that you don't do that and he did anyway. That is all on him. If he wanted to do something for the kids, he could have just outright given them the candy without being disrespectful. Not the asshole. By not listening, your boyfriend circled around from being kind to being rude and disrespectful. Your mom told him Elijah wasn't the same thing as the Easter Bunny or Santa. He cannot claim ignorance. Not the asshole. Your BF's actions were very immature. He needs to accept responsibility for mistakes. Not the asshole. As a Jewish woman and mom, I wouldn't recommend him as a long-term partner if you planned on kids one day, unless you intend to promote Santa and the Easter Bunny, not judging if you choose to do so. In my home, we celebrate and observe Jewish traditions and none of those, nor the tooth fairy and leprechaun. And hubby supports that even as a non-Jew, he's more atheist than anything TBF. His actions and clear disregard for our traditions aren't likely to change at any point, since he deliberately ignored this one after being told not to. To be clear, this isn't about him not being Jewish, it's about his total lack of respect for the Jewish faith. Think clearly of how you want your children raised and decide if he's going to be able to be the other parent. Not the asshole. Even if he meant well, if it isn't yours, don't touch it. You don't go into other people's homes messing with their stuff. Not the asshole, hands down. And he did know. Your mom told him. He has no excuse. Sure, he's never been to Seder before, but he sure as hell didn't try to learn when some knowledge was dropped on him. He asked. It was explained. And then he went right ahead and ignored exactly what your mom told him not to do. Ergo he did know, and he's lying to himself and trying to lie to everyone. WHO knew he was told. Ah lol. If he really wanted to learn, he could have Googled some stuff too before. And no, you don't have to agree with him just because he's your boyfriend. That's some antiquated bullshit right there. What he did was basically try to anglicize, Christianize a Jewish tradition. Not cool. I'm not going to argue anything other than he's the asshole and you're not, but your tradition is very different from ours. We send all the children to open the door and let the spirit of Elijah in, and while they are doing that an adult drinks the wine. When the children return they are shown the empty goblet as proof that Elijah did indeed come. Not the asshole. This is really disrespectful and weird. It really sounds like he thinks your religious practices are just a fun game, not, religion. 100% NTA. It was disrespectful of him, and your parents had a reason to be upset. Not the asshole. He's comparing a serious religious tradition to fantastical traditions made to entertain children. He should have understood after your parents told him it's not, and I agree with you on not defending a partner when they are wrong. He should apologize, learn and do better. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. He should show some maturity, apologize, and try to be more mindful when he's a guest. Not the asshole. He was specifically told why you don't do that and then he did it anyways. That's very disrespectful. Not the asshole. He was specifically told not to do that and why and did it anyway. In what world wouldn't he be the Not the asshole. This was so wrong, but I can't help but giggle at the fact that he decided to stage the return of Messiah. What's his next step in this? How did he plan to follow through? The audacity of this guy. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend is. Your mother told him that the glass was to have wine in it. It was out of line of him to do. Not the asshole. Everything is cringing in me. As an atheist, also agree not the asshole. What he did was disrespectful, and you defending him would have made it seem like you were okay with his actions, and then your parents would have been mad at you too. Not the asshole. It sounds like he absorbed very little about the holiday. Hard not the asshole. I was gonna write why. But the rest of the comments have got it pretty well. Not the asshole. He disrespected the tradition, he's on his own. If you've never been to a Seder before, don't try to know better. You guys explicitly told him not to do what he did, and he did anyways. He doesn't respect your traditions or religion when it doesn't suit him. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You have no obligation to defend your partner when they knowingly do something wrong. How would you even defend that? Not the asshole. Why did he ask if he was just going to ignore the ritual? Unless your parents were just abusive, he was right to be corrected and you were right to let him be corrected. BF. Hey, should we do this thing? Parents. No, we don't do that thing. BF. Look, I did the thing. Parents. We told you not to do the thing. BF. Pikachu.jpg. Not the asshole. But if Elijah sees his shadow, we all get 6 more weeks of slavery. Not the asshole. What's really sad is that he thinks he was doing a good thing. It's a really bad combination when you are supremely confident and are unable to understand why something might be important to someone else. Not the asshole. I hope he is able to learn from this, but most people I have known don't. Not the asshole. He was told no and did it anyways. That's really all there is to it. He acted disrespectfully and got called out for it. Although funny story, some of my relatives do this thing where during the Seder all the kids get up and go open the front door to let Elijah in, and while they're gone someone chugs the wine glass, and when they come back everyone is like, look, he came and drank the wine. But your family doesn't do that, and that's all that matters. Not the asshole. The story of Elijah was told during Seder, then your parents explicitly explained the meaning behind the tradition. Yet your boyfriend proceeded to shit all over your religious beliefs by believing that his wants and needs are more important. I cannot believe how disrespectful he is. Then to have the audacity to get angry with you for not defending him? No, no, no. That's similar to him being Catholic and you grabbing a fistful of communion wafers to snack on. If he is truly interested in learning about your religion, then he sure has a funny way of showing it. Not the asshole. You and your family explained the importance of this religious tradition. He willfully ignored it and chose who he thought should be done versus its meaning. Red flag, dear. It was wrong and could argue it was a bigoted move because he chose to poo-poo on your Jewish traditions for Passover. NTA. He asked, was told no and why it wouldn't be okay to leave candy out, then proceeded to do what the fuck he wanted. Boot.